start just with a couple remarks, because I'm, again, assuming there are people here who wish to address the issue of the proposed bike trails up in the Washington Reservation. I do want to point out that this is still just a proposal. Most recently, just a couple weeks ago, on February 26th, the county did hire an engineer to prepare an engineering report, so that is the next course of action. I've been asked, and unfortunately I can't really say how long that process is going to take, but that is a necessary step before this body moves forward. I was present at the meeting on Tuesday night and did hear a number of criticisms of the county that there was not proper notice concerning this process. The county, we thought we made proper efforts to get the word out, and if people didn't know about that, that was not the intention. Certainly we want to hear public comments from both sides of the issue, and that's why we held the public meetings. I do want to note that tonight is not a question and answer session. The board will be happy to hear comments from the public, but we will not have a back and forth question and answer concerning the issue. I would ask that anyone who is addressing this issue, and really any issue, please remember your decorum. When someone else is speaking, please no yelling out from the audience. Please no applause. We do want to hear what people have to say, and when they're interrupted by applause, it does make it harder for us to hear. I would ask that everybody please try to be brief, to the point. We do want to hear what everyone has to say. The meeting is recorded, so your words will be memorialized and they will be taken into account by this board before we move on. Thank you for trying to adhere to those. That being said, please give your name, town, and residence.
My name is Mary Helsel. I live in New Providence, New Jersey, and I've been a resident for 13 years. I run in the Quanchung Reservation on all of the trails. You can name it, pretty much any weekend. I am out there for several hours at a time. I'm an ultra runner. So I know these trails inside and out. I'm really disturbed by the current state of the trails. Now, we did have Superstorm Sandy roll through. We had a very torrential downpour of rain that washed off and eroded the trails even further last year. So the report that was given by the engineering firm is not current, being as though more damage has been done. I believe that the park staff has not done a good job in maintaining the parks. I also believe that there's poor leadership and use of the trail stewards who are volunteers to maintain park trails. I also believe that there's a lack of training for the trail stewards. Very rarely are there trail steward training events. My husband has been waiting several months, since last year even, to be trained to be part of the chainsaw crew. He has gone out and helped the head of the chainsaw crew, but he is yet to be trained as a trail steward. I have yet to receive my trail steward badge to do trail work, and I was approved a year ago. There's a lack of regularly scheduled work dates for trail maintenance. There are no organized trail dates for the maintenance of these trails. If we're expected volunteers to come out and spend the time to fix these things that are so vital to the park, for the wildlife and for the people who use the park, there needs to be actual work dates. Be it every other weekend, every month, there needs to be something and it hasn't been done. There's a lack of transparency, and I know that you said there's been due notice. However, the whole process has pretty much been within this room and with Wrbt and the other mountain bikers. It has not been posted with signs and flyers on people's cars or in the parks at the trailheads. There isn't been, I'm sure there's newspaper articles, but nobody reads the paper anymore. What about posting it on your county website? Freeholders meetings, nobody reads them. There has to be a more transparent way to notify people. If we can make an emergency text about be careful driving on mountainside roads so that trick-or-treaters don't get run over, I'm sure that this is a big enough issue that some notification could have been given. Also, I'm incredibly disturbed by the lack of involvement of hikers, runners, other users of the park, and employees of Watch on Reservation. There was no charrette to involve all interested stakeholders in the event of creating or allowing mountain biking in the Watch on Reservation. There's a lack of respect for nature and the environment. No environmental study, no contacting of the EPA, especially considering endangered and threatened wildlife live in the reservation. What about the Green Acres? Have they been contacted about the bike trail? The implementation of the bike trail on untouched landscape could detrimentally affect the flora and fauna within that reservation. Yes, it's a reservation, not a park. Yes, Wrbt has helped build several trails for mountain bikes in parks and reservations and preserved wildland. However, has it been as densely populated and contained as our park is for the size that it is? I don't know. And I don't think any investigation into the use of the park and increased usage by mountain bikers has been investigated. There's a lack of respect to the neighboring townships and boroughs whose municipal resources will be used in the event of an emergency. There was no contacting of any township officials. There was a lack of transparency to any short, immediate, and long-term plans for the construction of the new trails. No decommissioning of the old unblazed trails. There's a dependency on the county to rely on volunteers to maintain, and now on Wrbt and the county employees to then maintain and build these new trails. What portion of the taxpayer monies are actually being used for the reserve? And parking. Right now on weekends, there's parking to the max, and there are people that are parking at the deserted village on grass and then creating ruts and getting their cars stuck. Who's to say that the impervious material that could be laid down to add more parking won't detriment the park further? And policing and signage for the designated trails and trail etiquette. They lacks it incredibly.
Thank you. Time is up. Certainly feel free to submit any additional comments on our website.